Personally, I enjoy my talks with Cardinal Gibbons. Or have I met him yet?
Not yet, Teddy. Are the biscuits good?
Fully.
I do hope they don't make us use that imitation flour again. What with this war trouble? I know it's not very charitable of me, but I'm beginning to believe that this Mr. Hitler isn't a Christian.
Oh, if only Europe were on another planet.
Europe, sir?
Yes, Teddy.
Point your gun the other way.
Gun?
To the west. There's your danger. There's your enemy, Japan.
Teddy.
Yes, of course.
No, Aunt Abby, no more talk of Europe and more of the canal.
No, Teddy. Another cup of tea.
No, thank you, Aunt Abby.
Dr. Harper?
No, thank you. I must admit, Miss Abbey, that war and violence seem far removed from these surroundings.
It is peaceful here, isn't it?
Peaceful, yes. The virtues of another day, they're all here in this house. The gentle virtues that went out with candlelight and good manners and low taxes.
Yes. This is one of the oldest houses in Brooklyn. It's just as it was when Grandfather Brewster built and furnished it, except for the electricity. We used that as little as possible. It was Mortimer who persuaded us to put that in.
I can understand that. Your nephew Mortimer seems to live only by electric light.
Oh, the poor boy has to work so late. I understand he's taking Elaine to the theatre again with him tonight. Teddy, your brother Mortimer will be here a little later.
Delighted.
Yes, we're so pleased that it's Elaine that Mortimer takes to the theatre with him.
Well, it's a new experience for me to have to wait up until 3 o'clock in the morning for my daughter to be brought home.
Oh, Dr. Harper, I do hope that you don't disapprove of Mortimer.
Well,
We'd feel so guilty if you did, Martha and I. Especially as it was in this home that your daughter met Mortimer.
of course, Miss Abbey, and so I'll say immediately that I believe Mortimer himself to be quite a worthy gentleman. But I must also admit that I've watched the growing intimacy between him and my daughter with some trepidation. For one reason, Miss Abbey.
Do you mean his stomach, Dr. Harper?
His stomach?
His dyspepsia. It does trouble him so, poor boy.
No, Miss Abbey, I'll be frank with you. I'm speaking of your nephew's unfortunate connection with the theatre.
Oh, no, Dr. Harper. Why, Mortimer works for a New York newspaper.
I know, Miss Abbey, I know. But the dramatic critic is constantly exposed to the theatre, and I don't doubt that some of them develop an interest in it.
Well, not Mortimer. You have no fear of that. Why, he hates the theatre.
Really?
Oh, yes, and he writes such terrible things about it. But you can't blame him, poor boy. He was so happy writing about real estate, which he really knew something about, when they made him take this terrible night position.
My.
So, as he said, the theatre can't last much longer anyway, and in the meantime it's a living. Yes, I think perhaps if we give it another year or two. Oh, can that be? No, thank you, Teddy. I'll go. Oh, Officer Brophy, do come in.
Hello, Miss Brewster.
Officer Klein, how are you?
I'm doing well, Miss Brewster.
What news do you have for me?
Colonel, we have nothing to report.
Splendid. Thank you, officers. At ease.
You know Dr. Harper?
Sure, hello, Dr. Harper.
We've come for the toys for the Christmas party.
Oh, yes.
That's a wonderful work you folks do, fixing up discarded toys to give poor children a happier Christmas.
It gives us something to do when we have to wait around the station. You get tired playing cards, and then you start cleaning your gun. The first thing you know, you shot yourself in the foot.
Teddy, go and get that big box from your Aunt Martha's room. And how's Mrs. Brokey today? Mrs. Brokey has been quite ill, Dr. Harper.
Pneumonia.
Charge!
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, she's better now. A little weak still.
I'm going to get you some beef broth to take to her.
Oh, don't bother, Miss Hale. You've done so much for her already.
Oh, we made it this morning. Sister Martha is out now, taking some to court business to Benitsky. I won't be a minute. You sit down and make yourselves comfortable.
She shouldn't go to all that trouble.
Listen, try and stop her or her sister from doing something nice, and for nothing. They don't even care how you vote.
I received my call to Brooklyn and moved next door. My wife wasn't well when she died, and for months before. Well, if I know anything about pure kindness and absolute generosity, it's because I've known the Brewster sisters.
Colonel, you promised not to do that.
But I had to call a cabinet meeting to get the release of those supplies.
He used to do that in the middle of the night. The neighbours raised Cain with it. They were a little afraid of him anyway.
He's quite harmless.
I suppose he does think he's Teddy Roosevelt. There's a lot worse people than you think he was.
Damn shame. Family like this. Catching a cookie.
Well, with his father, the old dog's brother, was some sort of genius, wasn't he? And their father, Teddy's grandfather, seems to me I've heard he was a little crazy too.
Yeah, he was crazy like a fox. Made $1 million.
Really? Here in Brooklyn?
Yeah, patent medicine. He was a quaker of some sort. Old Sergeant Edwards remembers him. He used to house here as a kind of a clinic, tugging out on people.
I see. I think I remember that he used to make mistakes occasionally too.
Yeah, but the department never bothered him much. He was pretty handy on autopsies, especially poison cases.
Well, whatever he did, he left his daughters fixed for life. Thank God for that.
Not that they're spending it on himself.
I'm not acquainted with their charities.
Listen, you don't know the tenth of it. When I was in the Missing Persons Bureau, we were trying to trace an old man who I never did find. Do you know there's a renting agency that's got this house down on its list for furnished rooms? They don't rent out rooms. So you can bet that anyone who comes here looking for one goes away with a good meal and probably a few dollars in their pick.
Just their way of picking up people to do some good for.
Well, isn't this nice?
Hello, Miss Brewster.
How do you do, Officer Brophy? Dr. Harper. Officer Klein.
How are you, Miss Brewster? We just got by to pick up the Christmas toys.
Oh yes, Teddy's Army and Navy. They wear out. They're all packed.
The Colonel's just upstairs after them. Seems the cabinet has to okay.
Oh, certainly. I hope Mrs. Brophy's better.
She's much better now, thank you. Her sister's just all getting some soup from her factory.
Oh yes, we made some this morning. I've just come back from bringing some to an old man who's broken ever so many bones. Here you are, Officer Brophy. Make sure that it's good and hot.
Yes, ma'am.
This is fine. It'll make a lot of kids happy. Little Mallie boy's just nuts about soldiers.
That's General Miles. I've retired him. What's this? The Oregon?
Now, Teddy, put it back.
But the Oregon's for Australia.
Teddy,
No, I've given my word to fighting Bob Evans.
but Teddy.
What's the difference? Which kid gets it? Bobby Evans? Is he Cohen? We'll just run along now, man. And thank you very much.
Not at all.
Goodbye.
I must be getting home.
Oh, before you go, Dr. Harper.
Charge!
Oh, the stairs are always San Juan Hill.
Have you ever tried persuading him that he wasn't Teddy Roosevelt?
Oh, no.
He's so happy being Teddy Roosevelt.
Once, a long time ago, remember, Martha, we thought it would be a nice change for him to be George Washington.
But he stayed under the bed for days and he just wouldn't be anybody.
And would far rather that he was Mr. Roosevelt than nobody.
Well, if he's happy, and what's more important, you're happy, you'll see that he signs these.
What are they?
Dr. Harper has made all the arrangements for Teddy to go to Happy Dale Sanitarium Farm after we pass on.
But why must he sign anything now?
It's better to have it all settled. If the Lord were to take you away suddenly, perhaps we couldn't get Teddy to commit himself, and that would mean an unpleasant legal situation. Mr. Witherspoon understands that they're to be filed away and kept until they're needed.
Mr. Witherspoon? Who's he?
He's the superintendent at Happy Dale.
Dr. Harper's arranged for him to come and meet Teddy tomorrow or the next day.
And I must be getting home, or Elaine will be round here looking for me.
Give our love to Elaine. Oh, and Dr. Harper, don't think harshly of Mortimer because he's a dramatic critic. After all, someone has to do it.
Abby, you've just had tea. Isn't it rather late?
Yes, and dinner's going to be late too.
Oh, why?
Teddy, good news. You're going to Panama to dig another lock for the canal.
Delighted, that's bully, just bully. I shall prepare at once for my journey.
Abby, while I was out,
Charge!
I was all on my own. I didn't know when you'd be back, and Dr. Harper was coming.
all by yourself?
Oh, long fine.
Well, I'll just go down and have a look.
Not down there. There wasn't time, and I was all alone, and I didn't know where to put it.
Well,
Martha, look in the window seat.
Oh, it's Elaine.
Do come in.
Good afternoon, Miss Abby. Good afternoon, Miss Martha. I thought Father was here.
He's just this minute left. Didn't you meet him?
No, I took the shortcut to the cemetery. Mortimer hasn't come yet.
No, not yet.
Oh, we asked me to meet him here. Do you mind if I wait?
Oh, not at all.
Do sit down.
Now, we must speak to Mortimer about doing this to you.
Doing what?
When a gentleman is taking a young lady out, he ought to call for her at her house.
Oh, there's something about calling for a girl at a parsonage that discourages any man who doesn't embroider.
Oh no, he's done it too often. We're going to speak to him.
Oh, please don't. After young men whose idea it was to take to a nightlife having prayer meeting, it's wonderful to go to the theatre every night of my life.
And it's comforting for us too. If Mortimer has to see those plays he has to see, at least he's sitting next to a minister's daughter.
Oh, goodness, Elaine, what must you think of us? The tea thing's still not cleared away.
Now, don't worry about a thing in the kitchen until Mortimer comes, and then I'll help you. Mortimer should be here any moment.
Yes. Father must have been surprised not to find me at home. I'd better run over and say goodnight to him.
It's a shame you missed him, dear.
If Mortimer comes, you tell him I'll be right back.
Oh, hello, Elaine. Hello, Aunt Martha.
Abby,
Are you going
Mortimer's
somewhere?
here.
I was just going to tell Father not to wake up for me tonight.
I didn't know that was still being done, even in Brooklyn.
Hello, Mortimer.
Hello, Aunt Debbie.
How are you, dear?
All right, and you look well. Come sit down.
Abby, haven't we got something to do in the kitchen? Huh? The tea things.
Oh, yes, the tea things. Well, you two just make yourselves at home. Jack?
Make yourselves at home.
Well, can't you take a hit?
No, that was pretty obvious. A lack of inventiveness, I should say.
Yes, that's exactly what you'd say.
Where do you want to go for dinner?
I don't care. I'm not very hungry tonight.
I just had breakfast. What's everybody like for the show?
That'll make it pretty late, won't it?
The little stinker we're seeing tonight. What I've heard about it will be at Blake's by 10 o'clock.
You ought to be fair to this place.
Are these plays fair to me? I've never been able to rationalise it.
What?
Like falling in love with a girl who lives in Brooklyn.
Falling in love? You're not stupid and articulate, are you?
The only way to regain my self-respect is to keep you in New York.
Did you say keep?
No, I've come to the conclusion that you're holding out for legalities.
I can afford to be a good girl for quite a few years yet.
I can't wait that long. When can we be married in a hurry? Say tonight.
I'm afraid Father wants us not officiating it.
God, I bet your father could even make a marriage service sound pedestrian.
Are you by any chance writing a review of it?
Forgive me, darling. Occupational disease. I may give that place and I could notice.
Now, darling, don't pretend you love me that much.
All right, everything formal and legal, but no later than next month.
Darling, I'll talk over with Fargo and set the date.
No, there'll be a lot of other first nights in October. I'll have to see what's in rehearsal.
Hello, Mortimer.
How are you, Mr. President?
Fully, thank you, just fully. What news do you have for me?
Just this, Mr. President. The country is squarely behind you.
Yes, I know. Isn't it wonderful? Well, goodbye. And goodbye.
Where are you off to, Teddy?
I'm off to Panama.
Oh, Panama's the stellar. He digs locks for the canal down there.
You're so sweet with him. He's very fond of you.
Yes, he always was my favourite brother.
Favourite? There are more of you?
Yes, there's one other brother, Jonathan.
Never heard of him before.
No, we don't like to talk about Jonathan. He left Brooklyn very early by request. Jonathan was the kind of lad who would cut worms in two with his teeth.
What happened to him?
I don't know. He wanted to be a surgeon like his grandfather, but he wouldn't go to medical school. His practice got him into trouble.
Well, I'm going to run over and speak to Father. Before I go out, if you'd like to pray over me a little.
Well, if the prayer is short, I'll have time to lead you by distilled waters.
Oh, Mortimer, that's the first time that I've ever heard you quoting the Bible. We knew that Elaine would be a good influence on you.
We're going to be married.
Oh, Mortimer, that's wonderful. Oh, Martha coming up with the most wonderful news. Mortimer and Elaine are going to be married. Married? Oh, Mortimer. Oh, I hoped it would happen just like this. Elaine must be the happiest girl in the world.
Happy, I bet she's leaping over the gravestones. By the way, I left a large envelope around here last week. It was one of my chapters from my book on Thoreau. Have you seen it?
Oh, well, if you left it here, it must be here somewhere. So, when are you going to get married? What are your plans? There must be something more you can tell us about Elaine.
Elaine? Oh, yes, she thought it was brilliant.
What was, dear?
My chapter on Thoreau.
I think when Elaine comes back, we must have a little celebration. I think we should open a bottle of wine. Haven't we got some of that Lady Baltimore cake there? Oh, yes, yes. And I'll open the bottle of wine.
Oh, and to think that it happened in this very room.
Where did I put that?
Oh, Mortimer, it's so wonderful. I do hope when you go to the theatre tonight that it'll be a play that you can enjoy for once. What's it called?
Murder.
Something romantic.
It's called Murder Will Out.
Oh dear.
Yes, when the curtain rises, the first thing you'll see is a dead body. And Abby,
Yes, dear.
you were going to arrange for Teddy to go to that sanitarium, Happydale.
Yes, I did. Yes. Dr. Harper was here today and brought the papers with them. Here they are.
Oh, he's got to sign them right away.
Oh, that's what Dr. Harper said. There won't be any legal difficulties when we pass on.
He's got to sign them this minute. He's down in the cellar. Get him up here right away.
There's no such hurry as that.
No, when Teddy's working on the canal, you can't get his mind on anything else.
Teddy has got to go to Happydale today, tonight.
No, dear, that's not till after we've gone.
Right away. Right away, I tell you.
Mortimer, why are you behaving like this? Why, as long as we live, Teddy will never be separated from us.
Darlings, I've got some awful news for you. You know how we kind of humoured Teddy because we thought he was harmless?
Why, he is harmless.
He was harmless. That's why he has to go to Happydale, why he has to be confined.
Teddy, why are you suddenly turning, Mortimer, why are you suddenly turning on Teddy, your own brother?
Well, you've got to know sometime, it may as well be now. Teddy has killed a man.
Oh, nonsense, dear.
There is a body in the window seat.
Yes, dear, we know.
You know.
Yes, dear, but it's got nothing to do with Teddy.
So just forget about it, Mortimer.
Forget?
We never dreamt you'd peak.
This
I know about him, really, except that he's a Methodist.
That's all you know about him? Well, what happened to him? How did he get here?
He died.
Aunt Martha, men don't just get into window seats and die.
No, he died first.
But how?
Oh, Mortimer, don't be so inquisitive. He died because he drank some wine with poison in it.
Oh, how did the poison get in the wine?
Oh, we put it in the wine because it's less noticeable. In tea, it has a distinct odour.
You put it in the wine?
And I put him in the window seat because Dr. Harper was coming.
So you knew what you'd done. You didn't want Dr. Harper to see the body.
Well, not at tea. That wouldn't have been very nice. Now, Mortimer, just forget you ever saw the gentleman. Just forget about it. And I think we've got entitled to our own little secrets, don't you?
And don't tell Elaine. Oh, Abby, while I was out, I called in on Mrs. Schultz. She's feeling much better. She'd like us to take Junior to the pictures again.
Oh, we'll do that tomorrow or the day after.
Yes, but this time we'll go to see what we want to. Junior's not dragging me into any more of those scary movies.
Hello, Al, at City Desk, please. Hello, Al. Do you know who this is? Yeah, that's right. Look, when I left the office today, I told you where I was going, didn't I? Yeah, where did I say? Right, well, it'll take me about half an hour to get to Brooklyn. What time have you got? Right. Okay. I must be here. Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha, come in here! Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
What are we going to do about what?
There's a body in there!
Yes, Mr. Hoskins.
What? Oh, I can't send you over to the police. What am I going to do?
Well, for a start, you could stop being so excited.
And for pity's sake, stop worrying. We told you to forget about the gentleman.
Yes! Oh, my dear Aunt Abby, can't I make you realise something has to be done?
Mortimer, you behave yourself. You're too old to be flying off the handle like this.
But Mr. Hodgkins...
Hoskins, dear.
Well, whatever his name is, you can't leave him there.
We don't intend to.
No, Teddy's down in the cellar now, digging the lock.
You're going to bury Mr. Hodgkins in the cellar.
Yes, dear, that's what we did with all the others.
Oh, no. No, you can't. Others?
The other gentleman.
When you say others, you mean others, more than one others.
Yes, dear. This is, number 11, isn't it, Abby?
No, Martha, that's 12.
Oh, no, I think you're mistaken. I'm sure it's 11.
Oh, no, because I remember when Mr. Hoskins came, that it would make a even dozen.
But I don't think we can count the first one.
Oh, well, I was counting the first one, so that makes 12.
Al?
Anyway,
Oh, it's good to hear
they're
your
all
voice.
buried in the cellar.
Look, but Al, I'm glad you called up. I'm just feeling a bit perentillo. You wouldn't know. Look, Al, I need you to get hold of George for me. I can't cover the place tonight. He's got to do it for me. No, Al, no, I'm as sober as a lark. Look, Al, look, you get hold of George. It's my department. Where were we? 12?
Yes, Abby thinks we should count the first one, and that makes 12.
All right. Who was the first one?
Well, the first one was Mr. Midgley.
I still don't think we can claim full credit for him. He just died.
What Martha means is that he died without any help from us. You see, he came looking for a room.
Just after you moved to New York.
And it didn't seem right that such a lovely room should be going to waste when there were so many people who needed it.
And he was such a lonely old man.
All his kith and kin were dead, and he was so unhappy and forlorn.
We felt sorry for him.
So when he had his heart attack and sat dead in that chair, he looked looking so peaceful. Remember, Martha, we decided then and then that if we could help other lonely old men to that same feast, then we would.
So he dropped dead in that chair. How awful for you.
Oh, not really, dear. It was a little like old times. Your grandfather always had a cadaver or two lying around the house. Teddy was digging in Panama and thought he was another yellow fever victim,
And that meant he had to be buried immediately.
so we took him down to Panama and put him in the lock. Now, that's why we've told you not to bother about things, because we know exactly what is to be done.
So that's how all this started, that man coming in here and dropping dead.
Yes, but of course we knew that we couldn't count on that happening again.
So, remember those jars of poison that have been on the shelves in your grandfather's laboratory all these years?
And you know your Aunt Martha's knack of mixing things. You've eaten enough with her piccalilli.
Well, for a gallon of elderberry wine, I take a teaspoon of arsenic, half a teaspoon of strychnine, and a pinch of cyanide.
Should have quite a kick.
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, one of our gentlemen had time to say, "How delicious."
Now, I must get things started in the kitchen.
I wish you could stay for dinner.
I'm trying a new recipe.
Oh, I couldn't even think.
I'll come and help you in a minute, dear. Oh, I feel so much better now. Oh, you have to wait for Elaine, don't you? How happy you must be. Well, dear, I'll leave you alone with your thoughts.
Oh, it's you.
Don't be cross though. Father could see I was excited. So I told him about us. Never hard for me to get away. But listen, darling, he's not going to wait up for me tonight.
You went along home, Elaine. I'll call you up tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
You know I always call you every day or two.
But we're going to the theatre tonight.
No, we're not.
Well, why not?
Something's come up.
What, darling? Waterman, you've lost your job?
No, I have not lost my job. I'm just not covering the play tonight, that's all. Then you went along home, Elaine.
Look, God knows heavens. Certainly you can some way.
No, dear. No, I can't.
But if we're to be married,
Married?
have you forgotten that not 15 minutes ago you proposed to me?
Yes. Well, as far as I know, that's still on. Now, you went along, Elaine. I've got to do something.
You can't propose to me one minute and then throw me out of the house the next.
I am not throwing you out of the house. Now, will you get out of here?
No, I won't get out of here. Not until I've had some kind of explanation.
Look, Elaine. No. Hello? Hi, look, hang on a minute, will you? Alright, it's important, but it can wait a minute, can't it? Look, Elaine, you're a sweet girl, and I love you very much. But right now, I've got something on my mind, and I need you to go home and wait for me until I call you.
Don't try to be masterful.
When we're married and I have problems to face, I hope I find you a little less tedious and uninspired.
And when we're married, if we're married, I hope I find you adequate.
Oh, Elaine. Elaine. Hello, Al? 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 Al?
That's the doorbell, dear. Not the telephone. How do you do? Do come in.
I understand you have a room to rent.
Yes, just Dickens.
Even the lady of the house?
Yes, I'm Miss Brewster, and this is my sister, and another Miss Brewster.
My name is Gibbs.
Do sit down. I'm sorry, we were just setting the table for dinner.
Oh, hi, let me talk to Al again, please. Al, it's... Sorry, wrong number.
May I see the room?
Sit down a minute and let's get acquainted.
Well, that won't be much good if I don't like the room.
Is Brooklyn your home?
Haven't got a home, live in a hotel. Don't like it.
Hello, Al, it's City Desk, please.
Are your family Brooklyn people?
Haven't got any family.
All alone in the world?
Yep.
Well, Martha, you've come to just the right house. Do sit down.
Hello, Al. Look, sorry, we've got cut off. I can't cover the play tonight. That's all there is to it. I can't.
What church do you go to? There's an Episcopal church practically next door.
I'm a Presbyterian.
Used to be.
Oh, what is George doing in Bermuda? Oh, yeah, well, there's got to be someone around the office. And he can find somebody.
Is there always this much noise?
Oh no, he doesn't live here.
But what about the office boy? You know, the one we don't like, the bright one. You look, I'll hang on.
I'd like to see the room.
It's upstairs. But first, wouldn't you like to try a glass of our wine before you start off?
I never touch it.
We make it ourselves. It's elderberry wine.
Elderberry wine. Haven't tasted elderberry wine since I was a boy. Thank you.
Well, there must be some printers around. What about the guy who sets my coffee? You ought to know what I write.
Do you have your own elderberry bushes?
No, but the cemetery's full of them.
No, I have not been drinking, but I'm going to start now.
Do you serve meals?
We might. But first, just try and see if you like our wine.
Mortimer! Mortimer!
Not that
You can! Run! Did you drink it? Run! Don't come back! Don't come back! You can't do this! I don't know how to explain this to you! It's not only against the law, it's wrong! It is not a nice thing to do. People wouldn't understand. He wouldn't understand.
Abby, we shouldn't have told Mortimer.
What I mean is, this has developed into a very bad habit.
Mortimer, we don't stop you doing the things you like to do. I don't think you should interfere with us.
Hello? Al, look, all right, I will see the first act. I'll pan the hell out of it. But look, Al, you've got to do something for me. Get hold of O'Brien, our lawyer, the head of our legal department. Get him to meet me at the theatre. Don't let me down. All right, I'm starting now. Look, I've got to go to the theatre. I can't get out of it. But before I go, will you do something for me?
Well, we'd have to know what it was first.
Now, I love you both very much, and I know that you love me. I would do anything in the world for you, and I just want you to do this one little thing for me.
Oh, what do you want us to do?
Don't do anything. I mean, don't do anything. Don't let anyone in the house, and leave Mr. Hoskins right where he is.
Why?
I need time to think, and I've got quite a little to think about. You know I wouldn't want anything to happen to you.
Then what on earth could happen to us?
Anyway, you'll do this for me, won't you?
Well, we were planning on having services before dinner.
Services?
Of course. You don't think we'd bury Mr. Hoskins without a full Methodist service? Why, he was a Methodist.
Well, can't that wait until I get back?
Oh, then you could join us.
Yes.
Oh, Mortimer, you would love our services, especially the hymns. Remember how beautifully Mortimer used to sing in the choir before his voice changed?
Anyway, you'll do this for me. You won't let anyone in the house. It's a promise.
Well, I think that we can do that. Now that Mortimer's cooperating with us. All right, Mortimer.
You haven't got any paper, have you?
There's some stationery. Will this do?
Yeah, I can save time if I write my review on the way to the theatre.
Oh, Mortimer didn't seem quite himself today.
Well, it's only natural. I think I know why.
Why?
He's just got engaged to be married. I suppose that always makes a man a little nervous.
Yes. Well, if Mortimer's coming back for the services for Mr. Hoskins, we'll need another hymnal. There's one in my room.
Oh, Martha, it's really my turn to read the services. But seeing as you weren't here, I want you to do it.
That's very nice of you, dear. Are you sure you want me to?
Oh, it's only fair.
Well, then I think I'll wear my black bombazine and Mother's old brooch.
I'll go, dear.
We promised Mortimer we wouldn't let anybody in.
Oh, who do you suppose it is?
Wait, I'll go up and look. It's two people. I've never seen them before.
Are you sure?
There's a car by the curb. They must have come in that.
Let me look.
Do you recognize them?
No, they're strangers to me.
Then we must pretend that we're not at home.
Come in, Doctor. of my youth. As a boy, I couldn't wait to escape from this place. Now, glad to escape back to it.
Yeah, Johnny, it's a fine hideout.
Family must still live here. Something so unmistakably Brewster about the Brewsters. I hope there's a fatted calf awaiting the return of the prodigal.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Look, Johnny drinks.
A good omen.
Who are you?
Unexpected.
What are you doing here?
I'm Daddy. I'm Martha. It's Jonathan.
You get out of here.
But I'm Jonathan.
Oh.
Your nephew.
No,
Jonathan.
you're not. You're nothing like Jonathan, so don't pretend you are. You just get out of here.
But I am Jonathan. And this is Dr. Einstein.
And that's not Dr. Einstein either.
Not Dr. Albert Einstein. Dr. Greta Einstein.
Who are you? You're not our nephew, Jonathan.
And Daddy. See, you still wear the garnet ring that Grandma Brewster bought in London. And you, Aunt Martha. Still the high collars to hide the scars where Grandfather's acid burned you.
His voice is like Jonathan's. Have you been in an accident?
No. My face. Dr. Einstein is responsible for that. She's a plastic surgeon. Changes people's faces.
Abby, I've seen that face. Remember when we took the Schultz boy to the movies and I was so frightened? It was that face.
Easy, Johnny, easy. It's all right, ladies. These last 5 years I give Johnny 3 new faces. I give him another one right away. This face, well, I saw that movie too. Just before I operate. And I was intoxicated.
You see, Doctor? You see what you've done to me? Even my own family.
Johnny, your home. This beautiful house. So often he tells me about Brooklyn. This house, his aunt whom he loves so much. They know you, Johnny. You know it's Jonathan. Speak to him, tell him so.
Well, Jonathan, it's been a long time. Where have you been all these years?
Yes, where have you been?
England, South Africa, New Zealand. The last 5 years, Chicago. Dr. Einstein and I were in business together.
Oh, we were there at the World's Fair. We found Chicago awfully warm.
Yeah, it got hot for us too.
Well, it's wonderful to be in Brooklyn again. And you, Abby, Martha. Oh, well, you don't look a day older. Just as I remembered you. Still the same, sweet, charming, hospitable. And dear Kitty. Did he ever get into politics? Oh, my little brother, Doctor. He was determined to become president.
He's fine, just fine. Mortimer's well too.
Yes, I know all about Mortimer. I've seen his picture at the head of his column. He's evidently fulfilled all the promise of his early nasty nature.
We're very fond of Mortimer.
Jonathan, it's been very nice seeing you, but...
Oh, bless you, Aunt Martha. Good to be home again.
Martha, we'd better make sure what's on the stove doesn't boil over.
Excuse us, unless you were planning to go somewhere.
Well, Johnny, where do we go from here? We've got to think fast. The police have got pictures of that face. I've got to operate on you right away. We've got to find some place for that. And we've got to find some place for Mr. Sprinazzo.
Oh, don't waste any worry on that rat.
But Johnny, we've got a hot step on our
I
hands.
said forget Spinalzo.
But you can't leave a dead body in the rumble seat. You shouldn't have killed him, Johnny. He's a nice fellow. He gives us a lift. And what happens?
He said I looked like Boris Karloff. That's your work, Doctor. You did that to me.
Now, Johnny, if we find some place, I fix you up quick.
Tonight.
But Johnny, I'm hungry. I've got to eat. I'm weak.
Well, Jonathan, we're very pleased that you remembered us and that you took the time to come and see us. But you were never happy in this house, and we were never happy while you were in it, So was you just coming in to say goodbye?
My dear aunt, I can't say that your feelings towards me come as any surprise. I spent a great many hours regretting the many heartaches I must have given you as a boy.
You were quite a trial to us, Jonathan.
But my great disappointment was Dr. Einstein. You see, I promised her that no matter how rushed we were in passing through Brooklyn, we'd take the time to stop in for one of Aunt Martha's own cooked meals.
I'm sorry, there wouldn't be enough.
Ebbie, it's a good-sized pot roast.
Oh, pot roast!
The least we could do would be...
Bless you, Aunt Martha, we'll stay for dinner.
Well, we'll hurry it along.
Yes.
Jonathan, if you want to freshen up, why don't you use the washroom in Grandfather's old laboratory?
Is that still here?
Yes, just as he left it. Well, I'll go and help Martha get started, since we're all in a hurry.
Well, we get a meal anyway.
Grandfather's laboratory. Just as it was. Oh, Doctor, the perfect operating room.
Too bad we can't use it.
Why, after you finish with me, why, we could make a fortune here. That large ward in the attic, 10 beds, Doctor, and Brooklyn is crying for your talents.
Why work yourself up, Johnny? Anyway, for Brooklyn, I think we're a year too late.
You don't know this town, Doctor. Well, practically everybody in Brooklyn needs a new face.
So many of the old faces are locked up.
A very small percentage. And the boys in Brooklyn are famous for paying generously to stay out of jail.
Take it easy, Johnny. Your aunts, they don't want us here.
We're here for dinner, aren't we?
And after dinner?
You leave it with me, Doctor. I'll handle it. Why, this house will be our headquarters for years.
That would be beautiful. This nice, quiet house. Those aunts of yours, such sweet ladies. I love them already. I get to back, yeah?
Oh, Doctor, we must wait until we're invited.
But you just
We'll be invited.
And if they say no?
Doctor, two helpless old woman.
It's like comes true, a beautiful dream. Only I hope you're not dreaming. It's so peaceful.
That's what makes this house so perfect for us, Doctor. So peaceful.
Charge!
The busiest and happiest of my life.
And from Chicago, we go to South Bend, Indiana.
You wouldn't be interested in our experiences in Indiana, Doctor.
Well, you've led a very interesting life, I'm sure, Jonathan. But we really shouldn't have kept you talking so late.
My meeting Dr. Einstein in London, I might say, changed the whole course of my life. You remember I had been in South Africa, in the diamond business, and then Amsterdam, in the diamond market. I wanted to go back to South Africa, and Dr. Einstein made it possible for me.
A good job, Johnny. When we take the bandages off, his face looks so different. The nurse had to introduce him.
I love that place. I still carry the picture with me.
It does look more how I remember you. But still I wouldn't know you.
I think we'll go back to that place, Doctor.
Yeah, it's safe now.
Well, we don't want to stop you from going where you're going to go.
Oh, my dear aunts, I'm so full of that delicious dinner. I'm unable to move a muscle.
Yeah, it's nice here.
After all, it's
I found
very
it! I
late.
found it!
What did you find,
The
Eddie?
story of my life, biography. Here's the picture I was telling you about, General. Here we are. Both of us, President Roosevelt and General Goethals at Kaluba Cup. That's me, General, and that's you.
My, how I've changed.
Well, we see that picture hasn't been taken yet. We haven't even started work on Kaluba Cup. We're still digging the locks. And now, General, we both go to Panama to inspect the new lock.
No, Teddy, not to Panama.
We go some other time. Panama's a long veil.
Nonsense, it's just down in the cellar.
The cellar?
We met Teddy dig the Panama Canal in the south?
General Goethals, as President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief of the Army and the Navy, and the man who gave you this job, I demand that we inspect the new lock.
Teddy, I think it's time you went to bed.
I beg your pardon. And who are you?
I'm Woodrow Wilson.
Go to bed! No, you're not Wilson, but your face is familiar. Now, let me see. I don't know you now. Perhaps later, on my hunting trip to Africa. Yes, you could be someone I might meet in the jungle.
This is your brother, Jonathan.
He's had his face changed.
So that's a nature faker.
Teddy, I think perhaps you had better go to bed. Jonathan and his friend are going back to their hotel.
General Goethals, inspect the canal.
Right, Mr. President. We go to Panama.
Bully, follow me, General. It's down south, you know.
Well, bon voyage.
My dear Aunt Abby, I must correct your misapprehension. You spoke of a hotel. Well, we have no hotel. We came directly here.
There is a very nice little hotel.
Aunt
just
Martha, this is my home.
Jonathan, you can't stay here. We need our rooms
You need them.
for our lodgers.
Are there lodgers in this house?
Not now, but we plan to have some.
Then my old room is still free.
No, Jonathan, you can't stay here.
Dr. Einstein and I need a place to sleep. You remember this afternoon that as a boy I could be disagreeable. It wouldn't be very pleasant for any of us now. But things...
Abby, maybe they could stay just for tonight.
Well, just overnight then.
settled now. We'll get my room ready.
It just needs airing out.
We keep it ready to show our lodgers. I'm sure you'll find it very comfortable.
Johnny! Come quick, down.
Dr. Einstein. My dear aunts have invited us to come and live with them.
Oh, you fixed it!
You're sleeping here tonight.
Get our room ready immediately.
For tonight.
Johnny, when I go down into the cellar, what do you think I find?
What?
The Panama Canal.
Panama Canal.
It just fits Mr. Spinalza. It's a whole teddy duck, 6 feet long and 4 feet wide.
Down there.
You'd think they knew we were bringing Mr. Spinalza along. That's hospitality.
Oh, rather a good joke of my aunt's. They're living in a house with a body buried in the cellar.
How do we get him in?
Yes, we can't just walk him in through the front door. We'll drive the car up between the house and the cemetery. Then, when they've gone to bed, we'll bring Mr. Spinalza in through the kitchen.
We sleep in a bed tonight.
Easy, Doctor. Remember, you're operating tomorrow. And this time you'd better be sober.
I fix you up beautiful.
If you don't,
Jonathan, the room's ready.
then you can go to bed. We're just bringing the car up behind the house.
It can stay where it is until morning.
Well, I don't want to leave it on the road. That could be illegal.
Abby, what are we going to do?
Well, we're not going to let them stay in this house for one more night. But after this, that's certain.
What are we going to do about Mr. Hoskins?
Oh, Mr. Hoskins. Oh dear, he can't be very comfortable in there. He seems so patient, the poor dear. I think Teddy will have to take him downstairs right away.
But I won't invite Jonathan to the services.
Oh no, we'll wait until they've gone to bed and then we'll come down for the services.
General Goethals is very pleased. He says the canal is just the right size.
Teddy, we have another yellow fever victim.
Dear me, this will be a shock to the General.
Then he mustn't be told.
But it's his department.
No, Teddy, we mustn't tell him. It will spoil his visit.
I'm sorry, Aunt Abby, it's out of my hands. He'll have to be told. Army regulations, you know.
No, you must keep it a secret.
Yes.
A state secret?
Yes, a state secret.
Promise?
You have the word of the President of the United States. Cross my heart and hope to die. Now, let's see, how are we going to keep a secret?
Well, Teddy, You go back down into the cellar, and when I turn off the light, when it's all dark, you come up and take the poor man back down again. Now, run along, Teddy.
And we'll come down later to hold services.
You may announce the President will say a few words. Where is the poor devil?
He's in the window seat.
It seems to be spreading. We've never had yellow fever there before.
Martha, let's see if when Jonathan and Dr. Einstein come back, let's see if we can get them to go to bed right away.
Yes, and by the time they're asleep, we'll be changed for the services. Ellen, I've never even seen Mr. Hoskins.
Oh, that's right, you weren't here. Well, come over and have a look right now. He's really quite nice looking for a Methodist.
We're bringing the luggage through this way.
Jonathan, you can go right up. Your room's ready.
Well, I'm afraid we don't keep Brooklyn hours, but you two run along to bed.
Oh, no, you must be very tired, and we don't go to bed this early.
Well, you should. I won't take home to look after you.
Oh, we weren't intending to go until...
Aunt Martha, did you hear me say go to bed?
Come,
The instruments can go to the laboratory in the morning. Now then, we're all going to bed.
Oh, wait until you're all up and then turn out the light.
Run along, Aunt Martha. I'm on a flight, Doctor. All right, Aunt Heavy.
In a minute.
Turn out the lights, Aunt Heavy. Watch while you go and get the body.
No, he's too heavy for me. You go and I'll take watch. Let's get up. We get him down to Panama.
All right. I'll take a look around outside.
Here, quick.
Miss Eddie, Miss Martha. Miss Eddie, Miss Martha. Who is that? Is that you, Teddy? Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Elaine Hart. I live next door.
And what are you doing here?
I'm here to see Miss Eddie and Miss Martha.
Turn on the lights, Doctor. You chose a rather untimely moment for a social call.
I think you'd better explain what you're doing here.
Oh, we happen to live here.
I don't live here. I'm in this house every day and I've never seen you before. Where are Miss Eddie and Miss Martha? What have you done to them?
Perhaps we'd better introduce ourselves. This is Dr. Einstein,
Dr. Einstein.
a surgeon of some distinction.
That's president of something with the forest.
I'm Jonathan Brewster.
Oh, you're Jonathan. this afternoon, for the first time.
And what did they say about me?
Only that there was another brother named Jonathan. That's all that was said. But now that I know who you are, I'll be running along home.
That explains everything. What did you mean by that? Why did you come here at this time of night?
I thought I saw someone prowling around the house. I suppose it was you.
You thought you saw someone prowling around the house?
Yes. Weren't you outside? Isn't it your car?
You saw someone at the car.
Yes.
What else did you see?
Just someone coming from the house to the car.
What else did you see?
Just that's all. That's why I came over. I wanted to tell Miss Abby to call the police. But if it was you and that's your car, I won't need to bother Miss Abby. I'll be running along home.
What was the man doing at the car?
I don't know. You see, I was on my way over here.
I think you're lying.
I think she tells the truth, Johnny. We let her go now, eh?
I think she's lying. Breaking into a house at this time of the night. I think she's dangerous. She shouldn't be around loose.
Ah! Take your hands off me!
Doctor?
It's going to be a private funeral.
Teddy, tell his man who I am.
That's my daughter, Alice.
Oh no, Teddy!
Doctor, your handkerchief.
Charge!
The cellar.
What's the matter?
What's happening down there?
What's the matter? What's going on?
Oh, we caught a burglar, a sneak thief. Go back to your rooms.
We'll call the police.
We've called the police. Go back to your rooms. Do you hear me?
Help! Mortimer! Where have you been?
Oh, Nora Place Theatre, I should have known better. My God, I'm still there.
This is your brother, Jonathan. And this is Dr. Einstein.
I know this isn't a nightmare, but what is it?
I've come back home, Mortimer.
Who did you say this was?
It's your brother, Jonathan. He's had his face changed. There was Dr. Einstein that performed the operation.
Jonathan? Jonathan, you always were a horror. Do you have to look like one?
Easy, Johnny, easy.
You remember when we were boys, Mortimer? The time you were tied to the bed? The needle was under your fingernails?
My God, it is Jonathan. Yes, I remember. I remember you as the most detestable, vicious, venomous born animal life I ever knew.
Now, don't you two boys start quarrelling the moment that you set eyes on each other.
Don't worry, okay, there isn't going to be any fight. Jonathan, you're not wanted here. Get out!
Dr. Einstein and I have been invited to stay.
Not in this house.
Well, we did invite them for tonight.
I don't want them anywhere near me.
Well, we did say just for tonight, and it wouldn't be very polite to go back on our word.
All right, one night. But first thing in the morning, out! Where are they sleeping?
Jonathan's going in his old room.
That's my old room. I'm sleeping in that room. I'm here to stay.
Oh, I'm so glad, Mortimer.
Johnny, we sleep down here.
You bet your life you sleep down here.
You sleep on the sofa, and I sleep on the window seat.
Ah, the window seat! Yes! Well, let's not argue about it. The window seat's, yeah, good enough for me tonight. I'll sleep on the window seat.
You know, Johnny, all this argument makes me think of Mr. Spinalzo.
Spinoza? Mortimer, there really isn't any need to inconvenience you like this. We'll sleep down here tonight.
Jonathan, your sudden consideration for me is very unconvincing.
Come, Johnny, we get our things.
Don't bother, Doctor.
By the way, Doctor, I've completely lost track of Mr. Spinoza.
Who is this Mr. Spinalzo?
Just a friend of ours Johnny's been looking for.
Well, don't bring anyone else in here.
It's all right, Johnny. I'll be back. I tell you all about it.
Mortimer, you don't have to sleep down here. I can go in with Martha and you can take my room.
It's all right, Aunt Abby. We'll be packed in a few moments and then you can have your room. Mortimer.
You're wasting your time. I am sleeping down here.
Mortimer,
What's the matter with you, dear?
I've almost been killed.
You've almost been... Abby, Martha...
No, it was Jonathan.
He just took it for a sneak thief.
It's more than that. He's some kind of maniac. Mortimer, I'm afraid.
You're trembling. Have you any smelling salts?
No, but with some tea or hot coffee.
Oh, coffee. Make some for me too. And some sandwiches. I haven't had any dinner.
Oh, Martha, we can leave our hats down here now, but
You're not going somewhere, are you? Do you know what time it is? It's after 12. 12! Look, Elaine, you've got to go home.
What? Oh, that's right. You wanted some sandwiches for both of you.
Yes,
You won't
yes.
be a minute.
We'll make you some sandwiches, remember? We wanted to celebrate your engagement. We'll make you a lovely supper, and we'll open a bottle of wine.
All right. No, no wine!
What's going on in this house?
What do you mean, what's going on in this house?
You were supposed to take me to the theatre tonight. You called it off. You asked me to marry you. I said I would. 5 minutes later, you throw me out of the house. Tonight, after your brother tries to strangle me, you want to chase me home. Now listen, Mr. Brewster, before I go anywhere, I want to know where I stand. Do you love me?
Yes, Elaine, I love you very much. In fact, I love you so much, I can't marry you.
Have you suddenly gone crazy?
No, I don't think so, but it's just a matter of time. You see, insanity runs in my family. It practically gallops. That's why I can't marry you, dear.
Now wait a minute, you've got to be better than that.
No, there's a strange taint from the Brewster blood. Well, if you knew my family, well, it's what you'd expect a Strindberger in hell's a poppin'.
Just because Teddy will.
Oh, no, it goes way back. The very first Brewster, the one who came over on the Mayflower. You know how the Indians used to scalp the settlers, he used to scalp the Indians.
Now, Mortimer, that's ancient history.
No, it's the whole family. Take my grandfather, for instance. He used to try his patent medicines out on dead people to be sure he wouldn't kill them.
He wasn't so crazy. Made $1 million.
And then there's Jonathan. You just said that he was a maniac. He tried to kill you.
He's your brother. Not you.
Teddy. You know Teddy. He thinks he's Theodore Roosevelt. No, I realise now that no Brewster should marry. If I'd met my father in time, I would have stopped him.
Now, dear, none of this proves you're insane. Look at your aunts. They're Brewsters, aren't they? And the sanest, sweetest people I know.
Yes, well, even they have their peculiarities.
Yes. But what lovely peculiarities. Kindness, generosity, human sympathy.
There's another one.
Now, Mortimer, there are plenty of others. You can't tell me anything about your aunt.
I'm not going to. Look, Elaine, you've got to go home.
But why?
Something's just come up.
From where? We're here, alone together.
I know I'm acting irrationally. Just put it down the fact I'm a mad Brewster.
If you think you're going to get out of this by pretending you're insane, you're crazy. Maybe you're not going to marry me, but I'm going to marry you. I love you, dog.
Well, if you love me, will you get the hell out of here?
Well, at least walk me home. I'm afraid.
Afraid of a little walk through a cemetery?
Will you kiss me goodnight?
There you go. I'll call you up tomorrow or something.
You critic!
Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha, come in here! Come in here now!
Yes, dear, what is it? Where's he going?
I thought you promised you would not let anyone in this house while I was gone.
Jonathan.
I don't mean Jonathan.
Dr. Einstein.
I'm not talking about Dr. Einstein. Who's that in the window seat?
We told you, it's Mr. Hoskins.
It is not Mr. Hoskins.
Who can that be?
And you're trying to tell me you've never seen this man before.
I certainly am. Oh, this is a fine how do you do. It's getting to wet. Just anybody thinks they can just walk into this house.
And don't try and get out of this. This is another one of your gentlemen.
Mortimer, how can you say such a thing? Why, this man is an imposter, and if he's come here to be buried in our cellar, well, he's mistaken.
Have you admitted to me that you put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat?
Yes, I did.
Well, he kind of got the idea from Mr. Hoskins. By the way, where is Mr. Hoskins?
He must have gone to Panama.
Oh, you buried him?
Oh, no, not yet. He's been waiting down there for his services, the poor dear. Oh, we haven't had a minute with Jonathan in the house. Oh dear, we always wanted to have a double funeral, but we'll not hold services over a total stranger.
A total stranger? How can I believe you? There are 12 men in the cellar. You admit that you poisoned them.
Yes, I did, but you don't think that I would stoop to telling a fib, do you?
Mortimer, I'd like a word with you.
A word about it is about all you're going to have time for, Jonathan, because I've decided that you and your doctor friend have to get out of this house just as quickly as possible.
I'm glad you've come to the conclusion that you and I can't live in the same house, Mortimer. So, I'm afraid you've arrived at the wrong solution. Take your suitcase and get out.
Jonathan, you are beginning to bore me. You have had your one-night stand in Brooklyn. Move on.
My dear Mortimer, just because you've graduated from the back fences to the typewriter, don't think you've grown up. You're going, and I'm staying, and I mean now.
If you think that you can frighten me, if you think there is anything that I fear...
Oh, I've lived a strange life, Mortimer, but it's taught me one thing. Be afraid of nothing.
Mother, just come and see what's in this window.
Not now, Harry! Jonathan, why don't you show Martha what's in the window seat? Aunt Abby, I owe you an apology. But I have some very good news for you. Jonathan is leaving. And he's taking Dr. Einstein and his cold companion with him. Jonathan, you're a Brewster. You're my brother. So I'm going to give you a chance to get away and take the evidence with you. You can't ask much more than that. Very well. I shall have to call the police.
Don't touch that telephone. Are you still giving me orders after seeing what's happened to Spinoza?
Spinoza? I knew he was a foreigner.
Just remember what happened to Spinoza can happen to you too.
Oh,
Hello, Miss Evans.
Officer O'Hara. Is there something we can do for you?
I saw your lights on and thought there might be a sickness in the household. Oh, you've got company. I'm sorry to disturb you.
No. Come in.
Yes, do come in.
Come right in, Officer O'Hara.
This is my nephew, Mortimer.
I'm pleased to meet you.
And this is another nephew, Jonathan.
I'm delighted to meet you. Well, it must be nice when nephews visiting you. Are they going to stay with you a bit?
I'm staying. My brother Jonathan is just leaving. I'd hurry if I were you, Jonathan. Your things are all packed anyway, aren't they?
Well, you'll be wanting to say your goodbyes, so I'll be running along.
No, what's the rush? I'd like to be staying until my brother goes. We can have a cup of coffee in a minute. You can join us.
Oh yes, I've got the coffee.
And I'll make some more sandwiches. I ought to know your appetite by now, Officer O'Hara.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm due to ring in.
No, Ricky, you can join us for coffee. My brother will be gone soon. Sit down.
Have I seen a photograph of your brother around here someplace?
No, I don't think so.
It certainly seems familiar.
Yes, he looks like someone you may have seen in the movies.
I never go to the movies. I hate them. My mother says they're a bastard.
Yes, it's for your mother said that.
Yes, my mother was an actress, a stage actress. Perhaps you've heard of her. Features Latour.
Sounds like a name I may have seen on a program. What did you play?
Oh, a big hit was Mutt and Jet. Played it for 3 years. I was born on tour, the 3rd season.
You were?
Yeah, Sioux City, Iowa. Just after the 2nd act. And Mother made the finale.
What a trooper. And there must be quite a story in it, Mother. You know, I write about theatre.
You do? Oh. Say, you're not Mortimer Brewster, the drama critic.
Yes.
Well, I certainly am glad to meet you. Hey, say, we're in the same line of business.
We are?
Yes, I'm a playwright. Oh, this being the police force is just temporary.
No? Okay, so how long have you been in the force?
Oh, 12 years now. I'm collecting material for a play.
I bet it's a honey.
Oh, you bet it is. This drama I see being caught. You've got no idea what goes on in Brooklyn.
Oh, I think I do.
I'll say, what time have you got?
10 after 1.
Oh, gee, I better ring.
Say, O'Hara, on that play of yours, I might be able to help.
Oh, you would? Say, this is my favourite. Walking into here today. Oh, 10 o'clock.
Jonathan, you're leaving, are you? Good. You haven't got much time, you know. Hurry.
Cup is nearly ready. Oh, Jonathan, you're leaving. And Dr. Einstein too. Oh, isn't this your bag?
Yes. You can't go without all of your things. O'Hara, it was nice to meet you. I'll see you again. We'll talk about your play.
Oh, I'm not leaving now.
Why not?
Oh, you just offered to help me with my play, didn't you?
Yeah, but No, I can't do that. I'm not a creative writer.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll do the creating. You just put words to it.
But O'Hara,
No, I'm not leaving. Not until I tell you the plot.
We'll be running along then, Mortimer.
don't you try that. You were not going without everything. Look, O'Hara, you went along that way. My brother is just leaving.
Oh, I can wait. So I've been waiting 12 years.
Oh, sorry I took so long.
Don't bring that in here. O'Hara, would you like to join us for a bite to eat in the kitchen?
The kitchen. Jonathan's leaving. Oh, well, that's nice. Come along, Officer O'Hara. You sure you don't mind eating in the kitchen?
Oh, where else would you eat?
Goodbye, Jonathan. It's been nice seeing you.
I'm glad you came back to Brooklyn, Jonathan, because it gives me a chance to throw you out. And the first one out is your boyfriend, Mr. Spinello.
Look, we can talk in here.
He's coming right out.
I might have known you grew up to write a play with all this one.
Get going now, all three of you.
Doctor, this affair between my brother and me has got to be settled.
Johnny, if you got trouble enough, your brother gives us a chance to get away. What more could you want?
Oh, we're not going anywhere. We're staying right here tonight.
Johnny, let's get going.
No, we're not going.
We can't stay here with a cop in the kitchen and Mr. Spinalzo in the window seat.
Oh, that's all he's got on us.
Not Johnny.
Take Mr. Spinalzo and dump him down in the bay. Then, if he tries to interfere,
I can see by your look you've made up your mind. When you make up your mind, you lose your head. Brooklyn ain't a good place for you.
Doctor.
Okay. We got to stick together. Someday we get stuck together. If we're coming back here, then we got to take these with us.
No, leave them here. Hide them in the cellar. Move fast.
Johnny, come quick.
What is it?
Do you know the hole in the cellar?
Yes.
Well, we got an ace in the hole. Come, I'll show you.
Jonathan! Jonathan! Jonathan!
Yes, Mortimer.
I thought I told you to get out.
You're not going.
Oh, you're not. You think I'm not serious about this? Do you want O'Hara to know what is in that window seat?
Oh, we're staying right here.
Right, very well. This gets me rid of you and O'Hara at the same time. Officer O'Hara, will you come in here, please?
You tell O'Hara what's in the window seat. We'll tell him what's down in the cellar.
The cellar.
Well, there's an elderly gentleman down there who seems to be very dead.
What were you doing in the cellar?
What's he doing in the cellar?
Oh, no thanks, ma'am. They were fine. I've had plenty.
Now, what were you going to say to O'Hara?
Look, your aunts want to hear this too. Shall I get them in here?
No, you can't do that. You've got to go ring in.
Ah, to hell with ringing. I'll get your aunts in here and we'll tell them the plot.
No, not in front of all these people. You go ring in and I'll meet you someplace.
How about Kelly's?
Yes, that's good. You go ring in, I'll meet you at Kelly's.
Why don't you two go down to the cellar?
Oh, that's fine with me. Just the cellar.
No. We'll meet at Kelly's, but you've got to ring in on the way.
All right, it'll only take a couple of minutes.
I will ditch this guy and be back in 5 minutes. I expect to find you gone. No. Wait for me.
Oh, we'll wait for him, all right. Been waiting a good many years for a chance like this.
We got him right where we want him. Boy, does he look guilty.
Take my bag back up to my room, Doctor.
What is that?
Oh. We thought we heard someone leave.
Mortimer, he'll be back in a few moments. Is there anything left to eat in the kitchen? I think Dr. Einstein and I would enjoy a bite.
You won't have time.
No, if you're still here when Mortimer gets back, he won't like it.
Oh, he'll like it. He's gotta like it.
Now, if you something for us to eat while we bury Spinoza in the cellar?
No! No, you can't stay in the cellar. There isn't it. We need the room.
But there's a friend of Mortimer's downstairs waiting for him. They'll get along fine together.
A friend of Mortimer's?
Oh, they'll get along fine together. They're both dead.
I think he means Mr. Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins?
You know about what's downstairs?
Yes, of course. It's no friend of Mortimer's. It's one of our gentlemen.
Your gentleman?
We wouldn't have any strangers buried in our cellar.
But Mr. Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins isn't a stranger.
Besides, there's no room for Mr. Spinello. It's crowded already.
Crowded? With what?
There are 12 graves down there now.
12 graves?
Yes. So that means that there isn't enough room there.
You mean you and Aunt Martha have murdered...
Murdered? Certainly not. It's one of our charities.
What we do is a mercy.
So you can just take your Mr. Spinello out of here.
You mean you've done that? Here, in this house? And you've buried them down there?
You know, Chief, we've been chased all over the world. They stay right here in Brooklyn and do just as good as you do.
What?
You've got 12? I've got 12.
I've got 13.
No, Johnny. 12.
13! There's Mr. Spinalto, the first one in London, 2 in Johannesburg, 1 in Sydney, 2 in San Francisco, 1 in Phoenix,
Phoenix?
the filling station, 3 in Chicago, and the 1 in South Bend. That makes 13.
You can't count the one in South Bend. He died of pneumonia.
I wouldn't have got pneumonia if I hadn't shot him.
He died of pneumonia. He don't count.
It counts with me, I say 13.
No, Johnny. You got 12, and they got 12. The old ladies are just as good as you are.
Oh, are they? Are they now? Oh, well, that's easily fixed. All I need is 1 more. That's all, just 1 more.
Well, here I am.